Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I literally on the dot, like 5 seconds before, no, actually 3 seconds before I pressed the transition button, like before the timer ran out. Like I was still fixing my cam. Oh my god! I just plugged it into my. I'm charging my phone because my phone's low. Okay. What is this? Okay. Let me just reconnect. Cause okay, I'm a little bit early because I don't know, I took a really quick shower. Yeah, I was just my hair is still wet. To be fair, I don't usually dry my hair with a hair dryer, so yeah. And I don't exactly have the most healthy habits, but you know, it works for my hair. It works, so. Okay. Lore. Lore. Okay, what is this even called? I have not looked. I refuse to look at anything. Interlude teaser, The God's Limits. I know it's gonna be about shades. I know it's gonna be about the shades. Breathe. Breathe. Oh my god. Jeez, I'm telling myself to breathe. And I'm just literally reading through my notes because I thought of something. Just now. When I was coming home. Like, I literally checked my notes. On lore. My lore notes, yeah. I was like, okay. How do I organize my notes? Because now Google Docs have tabs. So I don't just have to like separate everything like into sections by just linearly using like just underlines and bold and stuff because it's not organized like at all, and like I have to reorganize my stuff. Anyways. Right, forgot to turn on the sound. Okay. Let's just do it. I mean, we're gonna do this frame by frame later anyways, right? Okay. Verb. Who is that? Blonde hair. Nicole? Who are these? Tree. Every time I see a tree, I think Ermin Soul.
Has always been so. Life abides no reason, for none are born by their own consent.
Okay. Wait, this is Shade of Life.
No
Renova looks a lot like Telema in HI3. I feel like the color scheme.
Time abides no reason, for it deprives us all equally, yet brooks not a second to be reclaimed.
Okay.
Space abides no
Yeah,
reason.
Sustainer is Shade of Space. I mean, we kind of always knew this. They've broken the laws of Tevat and...
Space stops the golden-haired twin travelers, and mercilessly tore them apart.
Okay, we know this. Renova? She's dying. She's gonna get killed. Is this like the forbidden? No, like breaking Tevat's laws. Renova?
No. This looks more like Rhine-daughter's doing. Please don't litter other people's spaces with your bizarre creations.
Unsurprisingly, all life here has been rendered unstable, tainted by the ruler of space. I have seen enough to know that repeating this experiment would be fruitless.
You seem to wield my power as if it were nothing but a plaything for your amusement. Although merging with you has stripped me of agency, I shall still continue to voice my disapproval. My dear Rhine daughter.
You have my respect, Nibirius. Your nagging is one of the only things.
Oh
that
yeah,
can get
because
under my skin.
Ryan daughter devoured Nibirius.
And you, Istaroth? Why did you bestow history upon them?
I had to find some way to pass the time, did I not? After all, it's clear that Asmodee is not here.
Well,
Who's
perhaps you could
Asmodee?
share your input
I
on
remember the
this
name.
time.
No,
You're
I'm
right.
sure I've heard that name
There's
before.
no trace of Asmodee here.
Asmodee.
Where has she gone? Anyway, it's time I put this space out of its misery.
Is that a world? What the heck? Wait, my computer's dying on me. Give me a sec. Hello? No shit, something went wrong. Oh my god, I really need a better computer. Ah. Okay, what is happening here? I'm gonna reload this. Hi. Wait, why is chat gone? Hello? Okay, why is nothing working? Okay, VTube Studio not working. My cam's working. Wow, okay. Remind me again why I need a better computer. Okay, firstly, I need like an actual webcam, bro. This is not working. Oh my god, okay. Well, you're kind of back. Let's see.
These meetings are just a formality. Does it really matter that only 3 of us are here?
I, for one, think that we should find her. Since the Heavenly Principles cast us as shades, not one of us has ever missed a meeting.
What if she just switched sides? Finding her would do more harm than good.
Ooh.
Now there's an interesting idea. Better than being devoured.
Just switched sides? You make it sound like such a trivial affair. We are shades, shadows of the Heavenly Principles. It's unthinkable. Unless she loves her new master more than her own self.
What?
Renova, do you know that you're being watched?
By whom? Whose gaze could pierce this far?
Oh. Oh, Piero?
I remember those eyes. It was just before I placed the curse of immortality.
Oh, that was Renova's doing. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Well, he lost his eye after that.
Ah, yes. He's an old acquaintance of mine. I'm sure that working for the Tsaritsa has helped him let go of his past obsessions.
The Cryo Archon. With her paltry powers, she dares set her gaze on the Heavenly Principles.
The Heavenly Principles have yet to awaken. If I were her, I wouldn't pass on that opportunity either. My dear Rhine daughter, you know.
Yeah, that was
I
Reiner.
cannot
This
allow you
is
to think that
this is
way.
Nefarious. They're kind of two in the same person.
It was purely hypothetical, Nibirius.
Also, can I say I love Reindar's voice already?
I say it's time we intervened. Of course, to the extent permitted by the rules.
Intervened on what? Also, like, I love Isroth. I love Isroth. I love them all. Let's be real. Okay, this is not cry. Hero, Fatui.
The gaze of the gods has always been considered a blessing. Hence the origin and meaning of visions.
Yeah, exactly.
People have always yearned for the gaze of the gods.
Yeah, visions are from the gaze of the gods. Like, the visions are just where they set their
It is
sights.
said that when mortals look directly upon the gods, they invite their wrath and retribution.
Of course.
And what of it? Lives will be lost. A nation brought to ruins. So be it. It is nothing I have not endured before. I already know the price of gazing upon the gods. So tell me, what is the price of killing a god? The god stays silent, as if the thought had never once crossed his mind. To all those who dare not look up to the heavens, Her Majesty the Tsaritsa says this. Behold. Even the gods have their limits.
Wait, this is like one of the only times the logo is in blue. At the end of a teaser. Well, it's not the end, but still.
Inspection over. Return to your posts.
Make sure the Frostmoon Scions don't pose a threat.
Okay.
Per the Pale Star Edict, we are to retrieve the damselette from Nod Cry, whatever it takes.
Ooh, wait. Retrieving Columbina? Wait, are those Intivats? Are those what? Wait. Holy shit, okay. Okay. What are we looking at? Oh my god, this is like 8 minutes of content to go over. Let's go from like the very top, right? Because I want to like at least go through the shades. Shade of Life, Nefarious. Shade of Death, Renova. Shade of Time, Istroth. And Shade of Space. Shade of Space, like, this is the Sustainer, the unknown god. Oh wait, is that her name? The Azim something? Wait, that's her name, right? If I remember correctly. The ASYD, it's those letters in there. Oh my god, okay. Asmodith? I don't know. Not entirely sure. Oh my god, I have to catch up on artifact lore, honestly.
This world has always been so.
It's always been.
Life abides no reason, for none are born by their.
Okay. Ooh, give me a sec. Okay, this is Nefarious. We know recently from the Archon quest that she was devoured by Rhine-daughter. Oh, okay. She was devoured by Rhine-daughter. So, which is why most of the time Rhine-daughter's in charge, but occasionally we can see like Nefarious take over the body or like come out like to say their own to say Nefarious is like own opinions or something. Nefarious is like trying to keep Rhine-Daughter in check, even though Rhine-Daughter is realistically the one in control because, well, I mean, Nefarious isn't dead, but like, you know, devoured can mean a lot of things. In this case, these are like, I think these are like somewhat DNA strands, I guess. This also makes me think a lot about the Hersher of Reason. Like, aesthetically, you know. If you know what I'm talking about, like, you know, Bronya in HI3.
Own consent. Death abides no reason, for it cannot be defied, even by those who see it coming. Time abides no reason, for it deprives us all equally, yet
One thing I want to point out, this shape, I can't, I don't have a pointer. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. You see this? Yeah, this, okay. This has always been like Celestia related, you know, like the symbol. But now I'm thinking it could be specifically Istaroth related, all things considered. Can we see anything from the Renova section? Wait, I want to go back to Renova. It's mostly the eyes, which now I think we see, like, the eye thing is very Renova. But the way she appears and disappears is also the triple star shape, you know. It's not here, but it was in the Traveler chapter thing.
cannot be defied, even by those who see it coming.
Fate, essentially.
Abides no reason, for it deprives us all equally, yet brooks not a second to be reclaimed. Space abides no reason.
Wait, okay, let's backtrack a bit.
Time abides no reason.
I want to look at Sustainer, like Unknown God.
Yet brooks not a second to be reclaimed.
Not a single.
Space
Okay, these stars. Yeah, these stars were the ones I was talking about. Oh my god, this is so thick. Can I? Can I choose a thinner font? Talking about these stars. Oh yeah, I don't get to really do. These stars, yeah, it's also very sustainer. But also we've seen Renova have a hand in that. In a sense, they are kind of pairs in two different ways. There is this life and death pair, and there is the time and space pair, but there is... Okay, yeah, Unknown God there. Okay, so that was Unknown God's doing. But my question is was the primordial one already gone before that? Or like was it Unknown God's own doing, or was it ordered by the primordial one? Like heavenly principles.
No. This looks more like Rhine-Daughter's doing. Please don't litter other people's spaces with your bizarre creations.
Those blue things look like Sealies.
All life here has been rendered unstable, tainted by the ruler of space.
Tainted by the... What place is this, though? Like, do you see how this looks like Sealy's? Sorry, I've been doing a bit much exploration. Yeah. Yeah, I would say these are very similar. I'm not saying these are angels, but also like these are ghosts? Like not exactly alive beings.
To know that repeating this experiment would be fruitless.
You seem to wield my power as if it were nothing but a plaything for your amusement. Although merging with you has stripped me of agency, I shall still continue to voice my disapproval.
Nibirius, yeah.
My dear Rhine-daughter, you have my respect, Nibirius. Your nagging is one of the only things that can get under my skin.
I mean, they pretty much live inside each other's heads.
And you, Istaroth? Why did you bestow history upon them?
Who is them? History upon who? The moons. The moons. Is it? Is it? Is it? Wait, sorry. I think I'm jumping a bit here. But like, yeah, the. What did she mean? Bestow history. Also, I forgot. I haven't really gone through something which is Skirk related, but also it's like not exactly Skirk related. It's moon related. It's like Skirk talking about moon related stuff. Shut up.
Pass the time, did I not? After all, it's clear that Asmodee is not here.
Asmodee.
Well, perhaps you could share your input a little earlier next time. But you're right. There's no trace of Asmodee here.
Asmodee. Yeah, Asmodee is. I'm pretty sure.
Where has she
Space
gone?
Shade. Shade of Space.
Anyway, it's time I put this space out of its misery.
The space which was quote unquote tainted by Asmodee. There's no Y in her name, is it? Is there? I don't even know what I'm thinking about.
These meetings are just a formality. Does it really matter that only 3 of us are here?
I, for one, think that we should find her. Since the heavenly principles cast us as shades, not one of us has ever missed a meeting.
What if she just switched sides? Finding her would do more harm than good.
Now there's an interesting idea. Better than being devoured.
Just switched sides.
Okay. A few things to talk about here. Firstly, what is it just me, or does Istroth look a lot like Robin? I don't know why I think that. Like, the hair plus the shape of the eyes. It's very Robin. I don't know why. Maybe because I looked at Robin's design a lot. But yeah, my point still stands. Secondly... What was I talking about? No, I wanted to say it for 2 times now. Okay, let's backtrack. Let me see what I was thinking about. Okay. Hello? It's not loading.
Now there's an interesting idea.
Oh, right. They said Asmodee might have switched sides. So yeah, what does switching sides mean? Right, there's more to go through here
Better than
after this.
being devoured.
Just switched sides? You make it sound like such a trivial affair. We are shades, shadows of the heavenly principles. It's unthinkable. Unless she loves her new master more than her own self.
Loves her new master more than her own self. Also, do you see how... Wait, I want to go through their eyes. Okay. I'll go over Nibirius and Rhindaughter later because they have a thing going on. Hello? But another thing I want to point out is that Nibirius and Istroth have similar designs, while Asmodee and Renova have similar designs. Like, in terms of at least color scheme. But also what they do. Hi. Hi. Hello? Are you not working? Why must you die on me like this? Why are you dying on me? Hi. It's not loading. Can I zoom in here? Do you see her eyes? Yeah, this like flowery shape. This flower pattern. Okay, so this is what Renova has. They all have very interesting pupils, honestly.
Do you know that you're being... She loves her new master more than her own self.
Loves her new master more than her own self. Okay, Istroth ironically has relatively normal pupils. It's just a circle, I think. Yeah. This is really interesting. And okay, I have a lot to go through each of the shades, honestly. Actually, interestingly, Renova is the least interesting one here. She has the least amount of stuff going on. But in a way, like, if there were stuff to say about her, it would be about what she's doing and her intentions. Because their interactions with each other actually can say a lot. And there are events that have happened and did happen, especially within the Archon quest, that really do say something about each of the shades themselves and their interaction and relationships. I want to go through one by one later.
That you're being watched. By whom? Whose gaze could pierce this far?
Renova's eyes really change color depending on the angle and lighting, I think.
I remember those eyes.
This confirms like a very honestly minor detail. Wait, okay, backtrack a little. I want to see what is there something. What is that glowing thing on Piero's back?
It was just before. I remember those eyes.
Okay, I'll just use this one to zoom in. Is that a vision? Or what is that? I'll see what that is later. I'll look up Piero's design. I guess that's his.
It was just before I placed the curse of immortality.
When I say Renova and Asmodee have very similar aesthetics and powers, I mean like they both have the triple star thing. They both do. And now I'm not sure if the cube thing is actually Well, to be here, I still think the cube thing is mostly a Asmodee thing. For the record, Asmodee is Shade of Space, Renova Shade of Death, Istroth Shade of Time, and forgot her name already. Oh, Nibiria is Shade of Life, yeah. But technically, now Renova is like, no, sorry. Nibirius is mostly controlled by Ryan Daughter.
He's an old acquaintance of mine. I'm sure that working for the Tsaritsa has helped him.
Piero, acquaintance of Ryan Daughter. Really want to pull out my notes right now. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry about that. This is also a good reason why I have these notes. It's really hard to keep track of everything and remember everything, honestly. Sinners. Oh yeah, 5 sinners. Sertology Foul, Heropater, the wise Rareful near Ryan Daughter. Okay, so Piero's not one of the sinners, but I mean, honestly, is it surprising they knew each other? Probably not. I mean, pretty much everyone is also acquainted with Dainslive, so yeah. Not surprised if Piero fits in there somewhere, honestly. Hi.
On the heavenly principles.
The heavenly principles have yet to awaken.
With her paltry powers, she dares set her gaze on the heavenly principles.
The heavenly
Whose case? Wait.
The Cryo Archon.
Oh, the Cryo Archon. Tsaritsa.
I'm sure that working for the Tsaritsa has helped him let go of his past obsessions.
The Cryo Archon.
Wait, Istroth is also wearing like rings with double stars.
On the heavenly principles.
The heavenly principles have yet to awaken. If I were her, I wouldn't pass on that opportunity either.
My dear Rhine daughter, you know I cannot allow you to think that way.
It was purely hypothetical, Nibirius.
For lack of a direct order, I say it's time we intervened. Of course, to the extent permitted by the rules.
Okay, my question now is intervened on what? Sometimes I forget I have hand tracking. It's like, yes, I'm actually thinking with my hand like that. Oh my god. Okay, I don't want to go through all this yet because, oh, I don't think this tells us too much except for the Columbina thing.
Per the Pale Star Edict, we are to retrieve the damselette from Nod Cry, whatever it takes.
Okay, first thing I want to point out is that I was wrong. These are not Intivats, I think. I don't think these are Intivats. Are they? They don't really look like this. Also, Intivats aren't that purple. Okay, the resolution is not great here, but how many petals are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe. This doesn't look like the Sea of Flowers though, so I don't think it is. These are I'm leaning towards these not being into vats. Also, the shape is not quite right. They're not as tall. Here, this little, it's not this long. Intavats are not this long. Yeah, they're relatively flat flowers, I would say. And their petals aren't exactly shaped like this. So yeah, I don't think these are Intavats. Another question is, why is Columbina glitching? Okay, in this case, this brings us to another way bigger rabbit hole down to angels, because I think I can be pretty confident when I say that Columbina is an angel. The significance of that is much to be discussed. Okay, Naviria is currently, like, in both of her forms, in both the Rhine Daughter and Naviria's forms. She has, like, heterochromia. But I really think, because, like, one of the eyes is blue and one is yellow. Like, I'm leaning towards this form mostly being mostly yellow is because of Rhine Daughter. Like, when Naviris is in control, the back piece, the thing in the back of her head, it turns blue. But comparing how different how this looks compared to, like, the form we saw at the beginning of the teaser, like, it really shows how much Rhine Daughter has changed and how much Rhine Daughter has influence ever since she technically devoured Navirius. Yeah, so the ornaments glow different colors when Navirius is in control, but most of the time, most things are yellow and black and white because it is Rhine Daughter in control, which is also why she has heterochromia, I think. So yeah, but also, like, you can with a closer shot, you can see that her eyes have different colors. No, like, not even different colors, different shapes. I want to say, actually.
These meetings are
Here, there is this 3-line thing on I'm just gonna call this the Navarius eye. The other eye is, I'm just gonna call it the Rhine Daughter eye. Like, surely there's a better shot of this.
Do you know that you're being watched? Renova, do you know that you're being watched?
Back a little. Hello? Bro. Okay, this is... Why is nothing loading?
She loves her new master more than her own self.
Okay, yeah, the Rhine Daughter eye has more of this cross shape, but in a sense, I also think this might be... This shape looks like, without the top and bottom, the shape of an hourglass. Which is interesting because this is the shade of life. This is Nefarious, well, Ryan daughter, who really deals with life, you know, alchemy and stuff. She keeps trying to create life. That's what she's always been about. And I guess one of her ultimate goals was really taking over all life onto that, which is, I guess, by devouring Nefarious. Okay, we don't get to see their pupils here at the very beginning. But also, do you see how different this form looks? Like, this is all white. There's, like, no black. And it's, like, white with a bit of gold and blue. But it's also a very silvery white. It's, like, a very light white. And the only black is in the glove here with... She has blue nails. So this is Nefarious before she got taken over by Ryan daughter. Yeah. I think, like, even aesthetically, it's, like, a giant shift from what it is now. Okay, Renova. Yeah, there is really not much to say here. Yeah, let's go at this one by one. Nefarious. No one's born with their consent. Okay, in a sense, this always makes sense in any world, even in ours. But my point is, what are the shades and where are they from? Because, like, when they're talking about, like, Asmodee and potentially switching sides, aka the possibility of Asmodee, like, betraying them, maybe betraying the heavenly principles. Now, I'm not sure. My question is really, where do the shades each stand, and as a whole stand, in regards to, you know, humanity versus Celestia, which is mainly seen as just being heavenly principles? Because, like, technically within Celestia, we know that at the very least there are, like, 5 people there. There is the primordial one, aka the heavenly principles, who is also the first descender. And then there are the 4 shades. So they each have their own motives and what they do, but, you know, the people don't really know that, do they? So, yeah. One of my examples would be that, the Abyss Order, or, like, our sibling, really has a thing against the heavenly principles. But, I mean, they hate all of Celestia as a whole. But, like, they really, really, really hate the primordial one. So, yeah. Okay, what do we know about Nefarious? Nefarious was the one who created the firmament. I forgot where this was confirmed, but it was confirmed somewhere a few months ago. Well, it was relatively recent. And then even more recently, like, during last patch. Yeah, the Monster Archon quest, we know Ryan daughter devoured Nefarious, which is why she's like that now. So whatever is happening in this teaser is really, really, really recent. Or, I mean, it's as recent as Ryan daughter. It has to be after Ryan daughter devoured Nefarious because of what we're seeing. We don't really know what Nefarious has been up to lately because, you know, she hasn't really been in control. We don't know what Ryan daughter is doing, but as usual, she's doing experimentation. And as of what was happening right before this teaser, my daughter was experimenting in a space that was basically already destroyed by Asmodee, because it was all red and stuff. And then Renova basically was like, yeah, let's just not let this land suffer, and I'm just gonna kill it, just destroy it, yeah. So I'm guessing this is a part of Teyvat that has been destroyed. Who knows? It could be like really the old land of Conria, or it could be a similar place. I wouldn't be surprised, because, you know, what other place is just a tree and then a sea of red? Well, Conria probably has, you know, a bit more stuff and land, but, you know, they have a lot more geographical landscape. Is that what I'm going for? I don't know. What am I talking about?
There's no reason, for it cannot be defied.
Okay, Renova. What have we learned here? Renova. At the very least, Renova played a part in the Cataclysm, being that she was the one who placed the immortality curse because it's her domain. So at the very, 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 very least, during what happened in the Cataclysm and the events before and after that, there were like pretty much everyone was involved except for Navarius. This is what we have like physically confirmed. Like within the series of events, 3 of the 4 shades were involved. Like we know for a fact that they were involved. I'm gonna get to the other ones later. Yeah. To be fair, Navarius probably doesn't do much, because they're like life. What do you do with life? Let's be real. You're not really trying to create new stuff, are you? Oh, another thing I want to point out is Natlan. Renova made a deal with Natlan, which was how they survived. And essentially, Renova let them rebuild their leyline system in sort of a separate little zone, which was Natlan. But yeah, their ley lines only spanned that area, and it didn't really connect to the other parts of the ley lines over into that. I think in a sense it does connect to the core of Irminsul, but it's like a very isolated route, you know, because if you imagine that the ley lines are really the roots of Irminsul, then it would be like all the other routes are like on one side, and you just blocked off this one little route that goes there, so they can't really interact with each other, which is also why Traveler had to go through all that to actually get accepted into Natlan's leyline system. Yeah.
Time.
Hi. I'm going through lore. So, okay, in the rest of the teaser, I think Renova was the most outspoken in terms of what they want and can do. I would say if out of the 4 shades there was... Oh. Then go sleep. What? Yeah, if there was anyone who was the most loyal to the heavenly principles, then I would say that would probably be Renova. Like, it feels like she keeps defending them, and I'm guessing whatever interference they're doing in Notcry / Snezhnaya is like just interfering with whatever they're planning to do against Celestia or the heavenly principles. I'm guessing that's what they're going for.
No reason, for it deprives us all.
Also, Istroth is so pretty.
Not a second to be reclaimed. Space abides no reason.
Okay, what has Istroth done? What has Istroth done? Wait, there's something later they said about time. Oh, here. So Isroth did actively interfere in what happened before the Cataclysm, which essentially led to the events of, you know, that entire Traveler chapter that was like this patch just. Essentially, Isroth prompted the destruction of Conria. Yeah, that's what she did. She caused Conria to be destroyed, which ironically was destroyed by the other shades. I'm guessing most of the destruction was like physical destruction of the land, like in terms of, you know, war stuff, was mainly by Asmodee, but the immortality curse was Renova.
And you, Istaroth, why did you bestow history upon them?
Bestow history upon them. One thing I want to point out is I feel like those ornaments around Isroth are a lot like wind chimes. And there is this entire thing going around with the wind around her. In this part where they're coming down the stairs, I think there was like, I'm not sure if it was this part. There was like a bit of like a whoosh of wind.
She just switched sides.
When we saw Isroth. Hi.
Think that we should find her. Since the heavenly...
Yeah, do you see the little tingly metal-ish sounds, I guess? It feels like wind chimes. Does it not? Because that was Isroth. My God.
Put this space out of its misery.
I'm trying to figure out what they mean here. Oh, Renova also has the triple star symbols on her dress.
Here.
Like, okay, sorry, I don't.
Well,
No, they're not stars. What am I saying?
put a little earlier next.
Sorry. What I was talking about is, what the fuck am I touching? This symbol. Yeah. So as a whole, it is very celestial, and we've also like seen it, you know, around Dragonspine. So yeah, it's really just a mark of Celestia, I think. Huh. Oh, another thing I wanted to ask, to like think about was, okay, this Renova is essentially destroying one of Asmodee's cube, but when Renova destroyed it, it turned purple, which is not very celestial, I think. In general, Celestia's stuff never really turns out purple. And really, the only time I can think of, like, you know, there's a few times where purple shows up is in terms of like magic, oh my god, I know what I'm thinking about now. I know what I'm thinking of now. Ryan's second story quest. The planting the sakura tree thing. It really reminds me of just Inazuma in general, like, because Electro. The other time where purple is prominent is, well, obviously Skirk, because Abyss. So, my question is, if it's purple, is it related to Inazuma? Because we also know Istaroth helped plant the sakura tree. What am I saying? Istaroth made it possible for Raiden, for A to plant the sakura tree 500 years ago. Basically, like, present day characters planted 500 years ago, like how current Traveler gave the key to 500 years ago Daredith. So is Istaroth kind of messing with a lot of things to actually seemingly help people? But I don't really know what they do, what she wants, really. Also, Istaroth has a lot of the double stars going on. Well, they're not exactly double stars, are they?
Anyway.
Okay, no, this is a star and a tear. My bad. It's like a tear-ish shaped thing. But she also has a lot of stars going on. Which, the stars are like very central to the game, but also are usually associated to the twins.
Does it really matter that only 3 of us are here?
I, for one, think that we should find her. Since the Heavenly Principles cast us as shades, not one of us has ever missed a meeting.
What if
So they have regular meetings, yeah.
she just switched sides? Finding her would do more harm than good.
Now there's an interesting idea. Better than being devoured.
Just switched sides? You make it sound like such a trivial affair. We are shades, shadows of the Heavenly Principles. It's unthinkable. Unless she loves her new master more than her own.
I don't think I understand what exactly she's referring to right now, but I really want to. Oh my god, I swear I've heard stuff about Asmodee. Oh my god, what am I saying? What do we know about her? Oh my god, I need to do research. I really need to do research.
So,
Renova, do you know that you're being watched?
by whom? Whose gaze could pierce this far? I remember.
And let go of his past obsessions.
His Droth is so pretty. If they're ever playable, I want to collect all the shades.
On the Heavenly Principles.
The Heavenly Principles have yet to awaken. If I were her, I wouldn't pass on that opportunity.
Also, side note, why do they all have white hair? Okay, I'm sorry. I stopped on Ryan Daughter, but before Ryan Daughter devoured Nefarious, she had white hair, which means every single one of them has white hair. Well, despite the lighting being different in some lights, but yes, they do all have white hair, which makes me think when Renova says you really have to love your new master more than yourself, does it really mean that the shades all come from like one person, or like it's like clones, or like separating themselves, you know? Because they're all very similar in a way, like physically. Anyways, yeah, the Kiana Kazlana stuff, you know.
My dear Rhine daughter, you know I cannot allow you to think that way. My heavenly principles have yet to...
Archon. With her paltry powers, she dares set her gaze on the heavenly principles.
The heavenly principles have yet to awaken. If I were her, I wouldn't pass on that opportunity either.
My dear Rhine daughter, you know I cannot allow you to think that way.
So Nefarious is actively preventing Rhine daughter from like trying to take down the primordial one. Okay. What have we established in terms of like allegiance to the primordial one / heavenly principles? Nefarious is loyal, but Rhine daughter isn't. So Rhine daughter is just trying to find any gray zone she can exploit. Renova is, I think, seemingly loyal to the primordial one, even though she kind of has her own agenda sometimes. And really, my question is, what does the whole Natlan thing, how does the whole Natlan thing really tell us about Renova? Because in that case, she helped prevent Natlan from being destroyed completely. And in return for that, she only pretty much took Capitano's life. Well, eternal slumber. But really, in her eyes, that was the deal. Like, she allowed Natlan to be, restored. Which saved, like, hundreds, if not thousands of lives. Actually, maybe I'll multiply that by a few more times. In return for one life. So it's like, technically, Renova is like loyal. No, actually, I don't think he is. No. Renova is like the one that's like, I know the primordial is the one. I know the primordial is the one. What am I know the primordial one is wrong, and we have to do something about it. But we also have to play by the rules so we can keep being in the game. So like, if we have to destroy the system, we have to destroy from the inside out. Like, that's what they're raging for. Whereas Rhine daughter's like, can I do my own stuff here? And then like, it'll be fun to do this. And like, Nefarious is like, no, we can't do that. No, back in. And yeah, I don't get what Isra is doing. Because so far what she's done is destroy Conria. But also saving Zuma. What does that mean? What does this do? You saved one nation, but you destroyed the other one? To be fair, I would argue that the Conria thing was probably by direct orders by the primordial one, and the Inazuma thing was probably after that, so the primordial one might have already, like, you know, been in hibernation. So, like, Istroth could really, you know, go do more of what she wanted for Inazuma, because, like, she was not under direct orders. I would argue that. So, like, in this case, I guess the argument could be made that Istroth is more on the human side, but also I still don't get what was the exact words again? I don't remember. Like, bestow history to them. Like, essentially gave the authority of time to someone else.
For lack of a direct order, I say time we intervened.
Lack of a direct order from the primordial one is time they intervene on, well, what I'm guessing is whatever the Fatui's doing. That thing they're building. Whatever the frick they're doing in Notcry.
Of course, to the extent permitted by the rules.
But it's also like, I don't get what exactly they're trying to do, whether what she's implying is actually in line or against what the primordial one wants. Because in this case, they're really trying to use whatever loopholes they can find within the quote-unquote laws of that, which I'm guessing is very strict. And Ryan seems really happy about that. Ezra is like, okay.
The gaze of the gods has always been considered a blessing. Hence the origin and meaning of visions. People have always yearned for the gaze of gods. And yet, it is said
Is my voice on my mic? Sorry.
they invite
Oh.
wrath and retribution. And what of it? Lives
What?
lost, a nation
What? I'm so confused.
so be it. It is nothing I have not enjoyed.
I'm pretty sure all these landscapes are not Cry.
You already know the price of gazing upon the gods. So tell me, what is the price of killing a god?
Gazing upon a god. Technically, Piero already gazed upon Renova once during the Cataclysm. But I think what he's implying might be more in line with what happened before that. But technically, most of the Cataclysm was triggered by, whatever the sinners did. Which was a lot of abyssal stuff. But Piero was acquainted with them, so he might have something to do with that. Yeah. But now they're actively trying to kill a god, in which case I'm guessing what they're going for is really just directly the primordial one. I mean, why bother with the shades if you can just directly go for the one that controls them, right? Except the primordial one is still kind of hiding.
Crossed his mind. To all those who dare not look up to the heavens, Her Majesty the Tsarita says this. Behold, even the gods have their limits.
I'm pretty sure this is one of the first times I've seen, the Genshin logo in a teaser being blue. It's very rare they use this logo, right? This is, the official logo. Either way, also, this is such a long teaser, and the animation is so freaking good.
Make sure the Frostmoon Scions don't pose a threat.
Per the Pale Star Edict, we are to retrieve the damselette from Nocry, whatever it takes.
I have no idea what I'm looking at. Very seriously, I genuinely don't know what I'm looking at. I have spent a whole day researching stuff about Angel. It's not helping right now. That was a few months ago. I know so much about the Sign Ascender. Yeah, this is the logo they usually use, right? They don't use the blue one. Wait, but also they have two. Why do they have a logo in the middle? This is so weird. Huh? What does this mean? Also, it's glitchy though. Okay, what do we know about angels? What do we know about angels? Okay, where are my second descender angels? Okay, this is why I need to edit my notes. Surgeons, powers, elements. Still powers. It's down, isn't it? It's down. And Earth, nope, not more. Kind of off. Stigma. This is Emphoria stuff. No, the Fatui. Oh, here. Okay. The descender, that first angel had to descend to the deepest part of the earth, asked about the forbidden origins of Tevat. My god, did I actually use the word spiel in my notes? No. I'm genuinely questioning how I even wrote my notes. And love threw away her crown. Oh yeah, the angel race was originally a part of Celestia until until the first angel was no, and then she was I'm gonna choose freedom, and then essentially just doomed their entire race, and then pretty much they all got killed. Yeah. Rebelling with humans against Celestia gave humans power to create life. Oh yeah, the first angel gave humans power to create life via alchemy. I mean, I doubt the power of reproduction really comes from that. And then Celestia threw down nails to suppress human ambition. I'm guessing this mostly has to do with Rhine-Daughter. Rhine-Daughter creating life with Albedo, Durin, yada yada. And it's human ambition got too much, and then they're yeet nail. Destroy Golden City, create the entire race. Oh yeah, they cursed the entire race, which is why most of the Seelies are dead. Okay, they didn't all die, technically. So I mean, I guess Columbina could technically be a not dead angel, like a live angel. I'm sorry, that's why I want to say non-dead angel. Died as they looked another in the eye and offered love that was meant for. Oh, is that why Columbina wears a blindfold? She can't look into other eyes, or she'll die. She can't look into other people's eyes and, you know, be empathetic, or she'll just poof, silly, die, dead. Yeah. This is before the iridescent moon. Wait, this is whiny notes. Okay, where's my moon section again? I don't remember if it's down or up, honestly. Yeah, it's down. Don't ask why this is under the earth and M40 sections. Don't check. Okay, to the full moon, abyssal crimson, eternal moon, iridescent moon. Give me a second, I want to check something. Moon. Circle, moon. Oh, okay, here it is. Hello? Hi, can I... Bro. Why are you not letting me copy this? Okay. Here it is. Okay. I once saw 3 moons of Tevat when I was passing through the false sky. So, again, whatever Skirk says here is relatively recent, and it is also, at the very least, after the Cataclysm. So within these last 500 years, 2 are utterly destroyed, their lifeless remains drifting aimlessly through space. What she saw was the Eternal Moon and Iridescent Moon completely destroyed, which, yeah, we know. When the Eternal Moon fell, heavens and earth were thrown into chaos. I'm guessing if there was a timeline for this, because the Eternal Moon likely came first, and again, I'm thinking it might have been the Archon War, or something even before that. I mean, honestly, the Archon War was pretty chaotic. Iridescent Moon, when the Iridescent Moon shattered, the Crimson Shadow sank into the Abyssal Sea. I'm still not sure what this means, but I do think it has a lot to do with the Crimson Moon dynasty of Claria. Frost Moon. Actually, this might have to be edited. Frost Moon might not be. The one that remains intact shows no signs of life either, but its will has not faded completely. Maybe there's a chance that one day a glimmer of truth will emerge in the false sky, a truth belonging to this world alone. I have no idea what Skirk means. I can't type. Yeah. So the first 2 were essentially like, just imagine, you know, you got killed in like a physical way, you know. And the third one, Frost Moon, like, you know, passed peacefully, relatively. It's like dying because someone murdered you and dying of old age. That's like really different, I think. I should stop talking. No, I'm not gonna stop talking. Let's be real. I was talking about the angels, right? Before the moon thing. I took a lot of Emperor's notes during like 1.0, and then after 3.0, and then after that I just did not touch anything. When the frost moon ceased to turn, nations falters and fell into ruin. Nations falters and fell into ruin. The world no longer sheltered by eternity, which means eternity was maintained by the moons. Marches towards its final breath. Sheltered by eternity. I keep thinking if eternity refers to the samsaras. And I'm thinking if like samsaras has anything, like whether Celestia / Primordial One is directly responsible for the samsaras. Where is it? Every time I think about a theory, it's like, but wait, samsara. This doesn't work, does it? I don't understand the samsara thing. It's really weird. Essentially, the only thing that matters here is spiritual element. Antagonize any research. Yeah, it's only this underlined part. People continuously refine themselves through samsara cycles. These include Hyperborea, Night-19, Remeria, and the first half of the fourth samsara, Con Aria, which we are presently experiencing. The interesting here is like Hyperborea, like it very much refers to Snezhnaya. Yeah, Snezhnaya, like I guess. What does Hyperborea mean? It's just, like, I keep thinking of like cold winter-ish stuff, which keeps bringing me back to Snezhnaya, even though I don't really understand what it means. Yeah, Nalantian. I mean, that one's in the name. Remeria was Fontaine, I guess. Previous cycle Fontaine. Yeah, pretty much. First half of the fourth samsara, Con Aria. I really should read on this. Really. Okay, this is word pull-up wheel, isn't it? Hyper Oh yeah, Boreas, the god. Right. Okay. Of course, it's Greek mythology. Legendary mythical land located beyond the north wind. Serves as the northern region. Yeah, it's typically associated with places that are very like cold. Okay, every time I think of Hyperborea, I just see like snow. Wait, when was Hyperborea mentioned in that? Wait, this is the one artifact I read a lot about. Huh? Oh my god, I hate ants. Okay, fact set. Oh, so it's a physical location. Okay. Huh. I was thinking whether it was like Remuria, it's like a previous cycle thing. But, huh, okay. So I've read so much about this artifact set already, huh? Heavenly. Oh, yeah, okay. It's been a while since I've read this, so I don't really remember. The heavenly moons peered down through the cloak of clouds. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Okay. Let me guess. The girl skirk? Yep. Master of Trilogy. This was all pretty obvious. See, blue crystal spikes. Celestial. Yeah, this is very obviously the celestial nails. I just wanted to double check. For the record, I rarely ever look at the wiki because I don't trust it. I know for a fact the wiki is missing a lot of information. There is also a lot of misinformation. That's why I only ever look at official stuff and then I make my interpretations off of that. I don't actually look at the wiki. This is very rare for me. Golden City. Golden City. To be fair, okay, one thing I want to make very clear is that I very much think the climate, which is very snowy in Snezhnaya, is a celestial nail thing. Okay, where have we seen extreme climate before into that? Well, Dragonspine, celestial nail, very obvious. The chasm's not really worth mentioning. The desert. The desert was because of a celestial nail. It was because of forbidden knowledge, as they say, abyssal stuff. Yeah. And I say landscape, not... I'm not including the volcano. Yeah. I'm just talking about climate, yeah. Okay. Crossroads Scions. Worship the moon goddess had mentioned their golden civilization. Oh, is that where Golden City comes in? Okay. Moon children. They're against the Wild Hunt. The Wild Hunt is abyssal. So Frostmoon Scions are leaning towards elemental celestial side of things. Well, at least they're like against abyssal stuff. Also associated with light keepers. Okay. Wait, Golden City, Golden City. Where is my Golden City section? Oh, it was right here. Okay. It was right here. Let's start. Artisans use forbidden methods to forge demons from large beast bones. Huh. Turned fallen frost moonlight. Oh, is that what the Frostmoon Sirens are? Frostmoon Scions. Yeah, Frost Moonlight, just moonlight from the Frost Moon. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Into living beings. So they turned moonlight into living beings, which was a forbidden form of creating life. I think, but the reason they could do this, I think, was because of the angel. Wait. Oh god, I need to be able to double tap and check my other. Destroyed because of the first angel, probably by nail. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. For the record. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, it's not Dragonspine. We know about Dragonspine. Ruined by frost-laden winds. Yeah. Similar to Dragonspine. Also very cold climate. Snowy and stuff. Because, you know, similar situations. Creating life, and then nail, and then, whoo, everyone's dead. Or, well, struggling to survive. Okay. I'm guessing in this case, is it a good assumption to make that the demons forged from Frost Moonlight were the Frostmoon Scions? Is that a reasonable assumption to make? I would say. Okay, where is my angel section? Moon. Nope. Amphorius. It's still Amphorius. Fatui. Night Kingdom. Okay. Not cry. Water. Oh, factions. To be fair, most of these are like not actually from Not Cry, so this is just to help us with references. Frostmoon Scions. Okay, so I really believe they are the demons from Yeah, that's really what my assumption is going to be. Priestess of the Frost Moon Scions. Oh, a priestess who banished a wild hunter, establishing like keepers. Keepers. Frost Moon Scion Priest. Wow, we've strayed so far from. Okay. Oh my god, let's go back to the shades section, because that's what this entire that was what the entire teaser was about, let's be real. Shades. This is probably not that up, is it? Why is my geography section so far up? To be fair, I started this like about a year ago when we did Simulanka. Oh, here it is. Yep, okay. Devoured by Rhine Daughter, Master of the Firmament, has... Ooh, the power was handled to mortals by the rebellious envoy. Yep, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna edit my description of her in terms of allegiance. Inside. Yeah, like, whatever Renova is trying to do, she's trying to not, you know, get offed by the primordial one. Now, that's pretty obvious in itself. When one life essentially traded all of Natlan, saved all of Natlan for just Capitano's life, which was originally going to be the Pyro Archons. But, you know, it's one life. It's one life, yeah. Cursed Conrans, yeah. Curse of Immortality, her doing. Okay. I'm just gonna remove this Shade of Light devoured by Rhine Daughter. I'm gonna put this in a separate section. Istroth. Of time. Okay, what has she done? We've already gone through this. Connery, ensure Connery got destroyed. Even though I do think the entire thing was likely by the Primordial One's orders, or it was just like a rule they can't defy. Not in short, jeez, this is too kind of in short. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's how you spell her name. I'll check it later. Actually, I could just check it here. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, Istroth also, you know, did the thing with, Enkanomiya. This is why I have an alt account. I need to redo so many quests. You know what? I could just hop on my alt account and then start doing quests again. Yeah, why not? Because I need to catch up on lore. Despite how much I know, there is like still so much more that I don't know. This is like my most extensive list of notes for just anything I've ever had. I don't think I have to elaborate on this, do I? I mean, it's literally the start of the game. Oh, right. The one we haven't talked about is Asmodee. Okay, Asmodee. We don't really know what they have done recently or after the Cataclysm. Regarding the whole twins thing, it really could go either way. Honestly, I think the fact that I'm leaning towards the idea that Asmodee actively trapped the twins here so they could actually have an impact on Teyvat's story. Or like, you know, they mainly wanted Traveler because they were going to be a descender. So, you know, if they left, they wouldn't be able to change anything. And Asmodee might actually want someone to be here and change something. Oh my god, I don't know if you guys can hear it. There's like a helicopter out there. It's pretty loud. It's been a while since there's been a helicopter here, yeah. I kind of live near I'm not sure if it's police or military training base, yeah. It's a thing. There used to be gunshot sounds up in the mountains. It's fun. It's fun, yeah. So honestly, if I were to bet on who would be the first to really betray Celestia, I would say it is Asmodee, despite all we know about her. Like, hi there. Yeah, I'm not sure about Renova. Like, Renova's like very feisty. She's very opinionated, I would say. Whereas Istroth is very soft-spoken. Hi, I'm doing okay. I would say pretty good, yeah. My luck. I say that, except my luck has not been great this morning. It's just been disaster after disaster, but I guess everything turned out fine now, technically. Okay, we're just enjoying lore here. Wait. Troy destroyed Conria. Yeah, she pretty much destroyed Conria, like from a physical standpoint. But also, she just at the beginning of the teaser, they were in a space that was like quote unquote tainted by Asmodee. So she just destroys places, or like, I don't know why for, or, but it seems like pretty frequent. Can, like, there's like a lot of cubes around there, I guess. I'm not really sure what to put here. One thing I can't figure out is Columbina. I've looked through all my Angel's notes and it's not helping. Like, the only conclusion I have is that Columbina is an angel and she's not dead. That's why she wears a blindfold, to keep herself from dying. But also, I'm guessing her, like, the fact that she's in the Fatui means that she does also kind of want to take down Celestia. She is like a rebel angel. And honestly, she might have some correlation with the first angel who knew the second descender. Yeah. Why is it not loading? Oh my god.
I say it's time we intervened. Of course, to the extent permitted by the rules.
Ryandaughtr seems happy about all of this. I'm honestly, I'm quite curious about Ryandaughr's stance on everything, but in general, the only thing I can really say conclusively is that Ryandaughr's more interested in science experiments than she is about, like, you know, the actual quote-unquote politics happening everywhere, which, let's be real, it's pretty much politics at this point, between Celestia and humans. Yeah. What am I saying? Okay. Triple stars thing.
Ah, yes. He's an old acquaintance of mine. I'm sure that working for the Tsaritsa has helped him let go of his past obsessions.
I really do feel like the four shades are like, they're like the split personality parts, or like the different parts of one person who was the primordial one, who essentially either cloned herself or split out some parts of herself to become the shades. Honestly, this is the theory I'm leaning towards, because do you see how similar they look? Also, again, the white hair thing. They all have white hair. Every single one of them.
By their own consent. Death abides no reason.
This looks like a light pink, but it's just because of the red lighting.
Even by those
Her hair is white.
coming. Time abides no reason.
Wait, is Istroth's hair... is she blonde? Kind of. Well, I can't touch anything. What place has better lighting?
We are shades, shadows of the heavenly principles. It's unthinkable, unless... She loves her new master more than her own self.
Oh, even here, Istroth's hair looks like an off-white. It does kind of look like an off-white, I will admit. But it's still white. It's definitely not blonde. I think all the blonde before was just lighting. Like how Renova's hair shows up as like somewhat pink, even though we know for a fact here it's white.
Renova, do you know that you're being watched?
By whom? Whose gaze could pierce?
She's like quite shocked, honestly. But Istroth knew before she did. Huh. Okay. You know what? We're not getting anywhere talking about all this. But there is something else I want to look at. This. I was finally looking at Skirk's voice lines, and okay, I'll just read it. I wonder if becoming human was an evolution or regression to her. How did it feel witnessing the self-destruction of her species firsthand? I considered asking her these questions when we first met, but given her personality, I thought better of it. I think I'll just leave her alone to work on her sculptures. Okay, we don't know that much about Nicole, let's be real. But at the same time, Nicole seems to have quite a vast knowledge of really the inner workings up to that. Where is my Hex and Circle section? I'm sorry if it seems weird what I'm doing here, but yeah, this is what I do when I'm like doing research. Well, kind of. I usually have a lot more tabs open. Oh my god. Okay. To be fair, I think I'm still spelling Hex and Circle wrong here. I think it's Hex E-N Z-I-R-K-E-L. Yeah, that's how you should spell it. Seniority. Wait, do I really not have a section on this? Huh? Oh my god, okay. Sorry, I'll add this later. We now know a lot more about the Hex and Circle than we did before. Okay, firstly, this confirms Nicole is not originally human, but she has become human. Okay, I really want to go back and do Sumeru again. You know what? We can do it. We can. I just gotta switch my account to the other region. I picked up my bottle of Coke and then I just heard the loading screen music. I don't know why. I kind of blew into it. I think the note was just right. The da, da, da. Sorry, I've been talking too much. My mouth is kind of dry. But also, honestly, what Skirk says here, it's like, it's not what I expected Nicole to have a personality like. Okay, this doesn't really tell us anything new, but it does kind of substantiate one of my long-term theories. The imaginary tree and Sea of Quanta thing, which is just an analogy, really. The universe is vast beyond measure, which start with stars stretching out into infinity, because like it's quite literally stretching into infinite possibilities. That's what worlds are. They're one possibility of what the original was. And because like there's infinite possibilities, there's infinite worlds. The worlds we see are just one of those many worlds. Well, one of the not dead worlds. The alive worlds? Okay, no, this is even more weird than saying live angel. Non-dead. I'm just gonna keep using that for now. Yeah, so I will never stop moving forward. I do try to set milestones for myself along the way, and I've reached a new milestone while journeying with you because I've grown stronger within this time. Now it's my turn to train you. The only question is, are you ready? I love Skirk. Okay, but yes. Infinite worlds, infinite possibilities. Yeah. Witnessing the self-destruction of our species firsthand. This does give rise to the theory that Nicole might herself be an angel. Now, I will have to cross-check that with whatever references we have, because, well, realistically, the only race we've seen, well, species. Well, the only species we've seen self-destruct was really the angel race. Well, the angel species. I'm not getting my words right. What the fuck was wrong with me? But at the same time, it's also implying that if Nicole was an angel, she somehow became human. Which I'm guessing in that case kind of removes the curse of which if you look at someone else with love, kind of, I forgot the exact words, you die. Yeah. Destroy, never let Danes live, not helpful. Oh, yeah. About Alice, promise. As the sustainer of the world's borders, she tolerates my presence, but she does make me promise to not interfere too much with this world's affairs. Sustainer of the world's borders. I really think that is interesting. But at the same time, this might mean that Alice actually has some sort of like, what is the word? Cooperation? Like, Alice does kind of work with Celestia. And in this case, since it is with the world's border, which is the firmament, which is created by Nibirius, she does kind of have something going on with Nibirius. To be fair, the Hexen Circle does not dive too much into the politics, even though they are all kind of involved somehow. But, like, they don't really question each other's morals and what they do, and whether, what they're doing is, like, kind of interfering with each other's intentions. They seem to not really care. Yes and no. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But I think, in a way, the Hexen Circle is a bit more about each of their crafts than it is really about what they're trying to accomplish. It's like the Sinners. They care more about, skill and growth and, like, what they're accomplishing as themselves instead of what change they're doing to the world around them. you know. It's like my analogy for this would be like Rhine if like Rhine was like bragging to her Hexen Circle friends, it would be like, oh my god, I devoured Niberius, I can do this now. And it's not like, oh, I devoured Niberius, I can, you know, now have a direct hand in what's going on in Celestia. It's like it's like they all care about their own craft, their own specialty, instead of like whatever politics going around them. Which is also very similar to, you know, the Sinners, because Sir Trilogy cares so little about politics and only cares about strength that he leaves Teyvat. He's just like, okay, Teyvat's not serving me anymore. I'm just gonna go. Bye. Yeah. I'm guessing whatever was going on here between Alice and Celestia, it's more like a deal. It's like Celestia made sure that Alice has to do this job in return for something that Alice wants, because I very much doubt that this is what Alice wants to do. This is what Alice has the ability to do, but she obviously wants something else. Alice dabbles in a lot more things, especially when it comes to creation, which is also kind of, you know, Niberius' domain. And so I would say it is, like, kind of fitting that, you know, if Alice wants a bit more, like, freedom or ability to create what she wants, then, you know, she would make a deal with Niberius or Celestia. Huh? I'm sorry, what does this mean? What does a ... something ... mean? I know I wrote that. What does it mean? I don't know. Okay. I'm trying to think of what we can do that would, you know, be interesting in terms of lore right now. I could hop onto Genshin. I could hop onto my alt account and then do something there. It's from how our power compared to Makoto. According to Moon Knight, shades do not look to be mentioned by name by any living being, even including the seven in the shadows as shades. Shades envoy Celestia following the she created a jury to function as a Sereno seized your heart. Later on the consequence, her heart was devoured by Reinhardt and fused with her. She'll now establish his rules. Sorry, I was reading this. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what Istroth... Oh wait, yeah, okay, sorry. I think I mixed something up here. Shades. Okay. Sorry, Asmodee. Istra Roth. Yeah, okay, this is what we're looking at, honestly. Okay, let's add on to Columbina section, which is in the Fatui. Okay. Here. Columbina. Angel. Not dead. And she wears the blindfold to, you know, avoid looking at anyone, really. So she doesn't die. I'm trying to think of what the god. I mean, to be fair, the entire gods have limits idea is really just a motivational factor to like kill the gods or like take over, to not have to live under the wrath of the gods anymore. Yeah. I'm trying. Okay, Istros has bestowed her powers to them, and I'm still trying to figure out what them really means. Another thing we know, which I think might be connected to Istroth, is that the 3 moons, which are all 3 now dead, are said to be celestial. Like, yeah, they are actually like created by Celestia, or at least controlled by them. Actually, probably created, or at least like in a sense serves Celestia, I think. Well, like there's like some sort of alliance there. I think it has a big part of really the structure of Tevat, and I think the more likely thing of what's happening is, you know, the moons are created by Celestia as a form of controlling Tevat. Yes, bestowed. Hi there. Yeah, I'm doing all right, despite having kind of a shitty morning. Bestowed. The way they said them is very reminiscent of how in Star Rail they were referred to the gods as them in like just all caps. I mean, I don't think this has the same connotation, but yeah. It's very ominous. Also, whatever is going on with Venti and the relationship between time and wind, which has always been very connected. And even Istroth herself has a lot of connections with wind. And as I've said, those ornaments around her head, I feel like, are a lot like wind chimes. And there's also like sounds of like wind, and also, well, you know, wind chimes when they hit each other. Yeah, there was a bit of that sound in the teaser, I feel like. It was here. Oh my god.
These meetings are just a formality. Does it really matter that only 3 of us are here?
I, for one, think that we should find her. Since the Heavenly Principles cast us as shades, not one of us has ever missed a meeting.
What if
Istroth doesn't really care. I feel like she's kind of doing her own thing.
switch sides?
But also the fact that Istroth is bringing up the idea of switching sides means that it's on the top of her mind. And this is from like a social conversation standpoint. Like if something is at the very top of your mind, then you're gonna bring it up the moment the conversation could have anything to do with it. So the fact that the moment they're talking about the fact that Asmodee is not there, then, and her assumption is that she might have switched sides, means that I really think Istroth is also thinking about switching sides. Whatever that means. But I think it's still pretty obvious that switching sides means switching from their side of like being with, like aligning with the primordial one to really fighting the primordial one, I guess.
Would do more harm than good. She just switched sides. Finding her would do more harm than good.
Finding her would do more harm than good. I'm thinking, like, who could, like, say Asmodee really did switch sides, who would the master they're mentioning be? I think it might be another Descender. Could technically be the second Descender. The Descender is dead. We don't know that much about him, I think. At least I don't. To be fair, I don't think second Descender is confirmed dead. They might still be alive, technically. And they are, and the one thing we do know is that the second Descender is very much against the Celestia right now. Because, well, I mean, pretty much, the current Celestia was created by the first Descender, which is the primordial one.
Now there's an interesting idea. Better than being devoured.
Just switched sides? You make it sound like such a trivial...
But also, I think Istroth is also implying the fact that if they did go to seek out Asmodee, under the assumption that Asmodee did in fact switch sides, then whoever her master would be, or whatever is going on the other side, would actually, you know, mess things up even more than what they want now. But also, I guess it could be the implication that if the two sides did in fact meet, then there would be conflict there. So it's better to just stay out of each other's way as long as possible. Right? Right? Another thing I want to point out is that Renova's design is a lot like Arlecchino's. And I still think the Crimson Moon and whatever's going on there has a lot to do with Renova. And I still think there is some sort of connection between the shades and the moons. I mean, the one connection I can draw here is that Renova is connected to the Crimson Moon, which is connected to the Crimson Moon dynasty of Conria. And which makes me think that the Eclipse dynasty of Conria has something to do with the Frost Moon, which is dead but not destroyed. So in this case, it's not destroyed, the moon was eclipsed, right? Does this make sense? What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about, let's be real. I'm just like spitting whatever the heck I know. Okay. Maybe we should take a break. I have other stuff to be doing. I have an unfinished sword and another one that is the other half of this giant sword that has broken into half. And I still have to fix it. Oh my god, yeah. But you know what? If we're bored, we can always read books. We could just go up and then read. Oh wait, daily reset, yay. Primos. My current Welkin's almost running out. I want to go reread of Sun and Moon. Actually, it's been a while. Also, it's Istroth related. Hey, Welkin Moon. Very celestial. I don't usually do commissions, but I'm trying to farm achievements, so I would just only do these story-ish ones. Of Sun and Moon. Honestly, I don't really remember what's in Konomiya about it anymore. And I'm still like, oh god, I really have to catch up on World Quest lore. The only lore I'm even like remotely familiar with right now is like all the Traveler chapter stuff. That's it. That's it. Everything else I know like bits and pieces about. Like I guess I'm relatively familiar with what's going on in Celestia, because that's another area of huge interest for me. While we're doing whatever this is, okay. How much can I realistically remember about the Hexen Circle? In terms of members, there is... Okay, there's Alice, Barbeloth, Nicole, Rhine-daughter. Oh, yay. Got 5 primos. I was literally farming achievements yesterday just to try to get more polls for Skirk. Oh, Kave. Oh, yeah, it's Kave's birthday. Okay. I see. No polls left. I spent everything on Skirk and I couldn't get her C5. Okay, I'm gonna do my commission. I'm gonna finish my commissions later. Of Sun and Moon. Books. Where is it? I swear to God, I saw it yesterday. Where is it? Huh? What? Is it really not here? Wait. Oh, it's before Sun and Moon. What am I saying? Oh my God. Before Sun and... I am an idiot. Is it here though? Is it here? Am I an idiot or do I just not have the book? How heaven's will took shape on the earth below. O heavenly gods, these creations are your works. Grant us divine wisdom, let us endlessly record. When the eternal throne of the heavens came, the world was made anew. Then the true Lord, the primordial one, came forth and did battle against the 7 terrifying sovereigns. Yep, okay, this was explaining really how the primordial one essentially killed all the dragons, and I was like, okay, this draconian world is now ours for humans, yay. Create the shining shapes of itself. Okay. I just proved my own theory. Yep. With lore that was from ages ago. Yay. Okay. Yes, shades of itself. For Ophanis or the primordial one. The primordial one may have been Phanis, had wings and a crown. It was birthed from an egg, androgynous in nature. Before the worlds will be created, the eggshell has to be broken. So just use the eggshell to separate the universe from the microcosm of the world. So whatever the primordial one was born from, that became the firmament. 41 turns from the flames and 44 turns the 7 provinces were vanquished and the 7 nations submitted to the heavens. Well, eventually, yeah, it took a while between the Dragon War and the 7 nations to form, really, but yeah. Great Sovereign began its... Oh, wait, sorry, 7 nations. I'm assuming 7 nations of the dragon, right? Yeah, no, it's not the 7 nations. It's not the 7 nations we know now. It's the 7 nations of the dragons, I think. 400 years after the held branches. The mountains and rivers were made, the sea and oceans accepted those who rebelled and those who would not kneel. The primordial one in one of his shades created the birds of the air, creation, beasts of the earth, and fish of the sea. Together they also created flowers. So that's with Nibirius. At the time our ancestors made a covenant with the primordial one and also entered a new age. The year of Ark's opening had a sacred plan for humans. As long as they were happy, it too rejoiced. The people worked the land, and so came the first harvest. The people mined, and so reaped the first crop of precious ore. The people gathered, and the first poems were written. If there was hunger, the heavens would bring down food and rain. If there was poverty, the earth would bring forth its riches. If melancholy were to spread, the heavens would reply with their voices. The one taboo was to succumb to temptation, but the path to temptation had already been sealed. Except that wouldn't last for long, so yeah. The funerary year. Second Descender, and war was rekindled between the angels and stuff. Yeah, whatever the angel thing was. As it was in the world's creation, that day the heavens collapsed and the earth was rent asunder. No. Our ancestors and their ancestral land fell into this place during that conflict. The people of the Seven Sovereigns had found refuge in the oceans, and the dragon heirs of the depths ruled this particular place, which led to war between them and our ancestors. So this is where, as far as splitting off into Enkanomiya history. Yeah, before that was like the above land, so it was like all of Teyvat. He lit a torch and thus still. And then all of this was really all the not exactly great stuff that happened in Enkanomiya. Okay. Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, I recommend reading it, but also, maybe don't put too much imagination in it, because it's not like it's not great for your soul. I'm just gonna put it that way. I do not wish to reread some things, okay? I'll just skim through it. I get through the important stuff. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we're good. My books are really incomplete. Okay, you know what? What's something else nice to look at? Sorry. Yeah, we just keep going back to the archive. Tutorials, geography, books, materials, equipment. Yay. Okay. Yeah, we've read this. Nightingale carrying an ember. That flew only on moonless nights. Long night's oath. Oh, light keepers. Okay. Centuries have passed since their ancestors had stood before the Sarita swearing an oath of eternal fidelity. As people living in paradise believed that, so long as their lighthouse stayed lit, they could live in their freedom, neither fearing the chaos wrought by the pitch-black beasts, the wild hunt, nor needing to seek refuge in the lands to the north, which is, well, Hyperborea or whatever was northern up there. Then one night a chilling sound carried over the horizon's edge. The leader of the wild hunt was abroad, galloping across the night sky. As ever, the night watchers laid down their great animal skin cloaks, yet that day the sun rose not. The sun did not rise. As the rallying horns echoed through the hills, warriors formed ranks at the high tower's foot, awaiting that momentous command to march south in fulfillment of their ancient vows. Yet in the great meat hall, the current Starshna sat in silence. For already a mighty host, bright as midsummer's day, had reached the city's gates to the north. Warriors of the Pale Star. So the Wild Hunt was, I guess, trying to take down the Lightkeepers. Warriors of the Pale Star, why do you choose this moment to knock at Pyramida's gates? Even you have no right to revoke the sacred powers bestowed upon us by Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. They claim to be reinforcements. These uninvited guests have ulterior motives, as the Starshnaya knew full well. But to yield at this juncture would spell the land of the autonomy they had upheld for centuries past. From beneath the lead officer's mask came a voice low and cold, and in its wake a mocking laugh from parts unknown. This is where the Dark Calamity began. Remember, Snezhnaya cannot bear the weight of your defeat. Warriors of the Nightingale, fight with all your might. Yet should none of you return. Then we will take care of the aftermath. Warriors of the Pale Star, Warriors of the Nightingale. Okay, so yeah, it's like not cry stuff. Oh, I read the feather first. The hunting winds coming down the and the bit of ceasefire. A mad monk with strange tongues presented a treacherous plot to the Tsar of all Fae. In the end, even the pretentious lunatic could not break free of the celestial shell, as was consumed by the beloved bedeviled sky. Bedeviled sky at the edge of the delusion. Yet all this took place before the paradise had even come to being. From all the time, it was no more than a daydream, a fantasy sheltered by two children beneath the moon's glow. Oh, the paradise of not cry. Okay. That was like... The paradise of not cry, which became possible because of because they used like the moonlight from the frost moon to essentially take out the Wild Hunt, which was abyssal monsters. And these moon children were the Frost Moon Scions. And this really just told like how the Lightkeepers came to be because of the Frost Moon Scions. The world is asunder again. I don't think this really tells much, the other person. I'm gonna keep reading through artifact lore after this, but let's just find something to do right now. It's kind of getting boring here. Oh, I remember now. Yeah, I have to go fish. and stuff. There's also other stuff I need to do in Inazuma, because like apparently I have hidden quests here that I need to finish. Oh my god. Just like over 2 years now that I've like 100%ed Inazuma, and it's like, yeah, I still have so many quests to do. Apparently. Well, I guess it is easier to do exploration now that, well, now that I have Natlan characters. Is there fish? No fish? Again? How do I fish for something if there's no fish? Hello? This is so annoying. Okay, what else do I have to do? I'm like genuinely trying to think. I mean, we could just keep reading more lore. I'm spending my entire afternoon doing this. For the record though, that teaser, that the gods have limits teaser, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, this gave us a good amount of lore on the like really inner workings of Celestia and the Shades. When are we gonna be there? I don't have. I'm using Mawika with like a dragon's. It with like sorry a what's it called, a what's that sword? No, claymore. Wolf's gravestone. Yeah, she still does like so much damage. Yeah, I once said the Arlecchino is like not that much worse than Mawika. I'm sorry, I'm so wrong. I was so wrong. I agree now. Mawika is like so OP. I love how Gaming has become the go-to pyro DPS for any like pyro reaction teams. If it's like in any trials that is like a pyro team, but also not pyro DPS. It's cool. Like I really like Gaming. God. I'm not gonna pull. I'm gonna save to get Skirk C5. I'm going to save. I will save for Skirk C5. Oh my god. I need this. I need this. I need this. Also this. Oh, I remember. Quests. Apparently I have an unfinished Dragonspine hidden quest.
Zero. Everything merciless.
It's like I know Skirk is something, but also saying below 0 temperatures is nothing compared to absolute 0. What the heck, bro? That's some insane shit. That is insanity. It's like saying like it's only really cold if it's absolute 0. Absolute 0 particles stop moving. They don't vibrate. Huh. Though I don't doubt that it is possible. Skirk knows more physics than I do, so. How do I put this? I'm getting an award tomorrow. I don't know what award I'm getting. Honestly, it could like not even be a subject award. But if I did get a subject award, the last thing I would assume I'm getting a subject award in would, well, okay, second last would be physics. Actually, no, third last. Cause like my last option for what I would get an award would be Chinese. Despite that being my first language, yeah. Shit. Second would be PE. I can not catch a ball to save my life, bro. No. I would die catching the ball, or I would die not catching the ball. Either way, I'm just dead. The same logic applies to literally any ball game you would get me to play. I'm just dead the moment I step on the court. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Wait, what? Sorry. I have some markers in here that I keep telling myself to look back on, and I just never do. So I'm like checking it out. This might be lore related. It's from there, isn't it? Okay. I'm trying to find out more stuff about celestial nails. Oh, you know, we could go on an expedition up to Dragonspine just to take a look at the nail. You know, why not? It'd be fun. Go up to Dragonspine and take a look at the nail. Wait, is this the entrance or what? I hate it when I don't mark my own entrances. Like, how do I go somewhere? I want to go back. Oh, cave. Okay. This might be it. Ah, okay. What did I mean nail mural? Oh, yeah, there is a nail. What is this place? Wait, okay. Sorry, I'm not caught up on Chen Veil lore. It's probably the US stuff. Oh yeah, there is a nail here. River. I'm gonna have to redo Chen Veil lore. Yeah, I don't remember. It's like I marked the nail and then it's like, I don't even know what that means. Yay. Oh. Is that Celestia? Should be somewhere here. I think, sorry. I don't mean to look up like that. It's just like I want to look at. I want to find Celestia. Where is it again? It's here, slightly down here. Yeah. Oh, it's right there. Okay, Celestia. Yep. Okay. Where is this trying to take me? Where is this supposed to bring me? Huh? Okay. I'm confused. It's not gonna yeet us all the way over to Fontaine, is it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You know what? Maybe once prayed himself and civilization firmly believed their empire would rule eternal as long as their god king's melody continued to play along the golden throne. Their flourishing laws would stand unshaken like a fortress of white stone and bronze. Yet all that ancient pride and hatred eventually sank below the towering waves, leaving only a tranquil, salty breeze as gentle as it had ever been in the long days past. Another thing I want to check. The description of this. Before the descendants of various tribes learned to record their history with woven scrolls, their ancient and proud nobility had already built a magnificent holy city there, scorning the land that had those feeble slaves known as Netlantia. However, the vast empire that prided itself on its power had long since perished in battle. Only a lonely tomb remains of that mighty city. So yeah, it's like a destroyed place from, like, I'm guessing in this case, a previous cycle. But what that means as a previous Samsara cycle, well... Oh god, I really want to switch over to my alt account and then do some quests. For the record, I have not finished. I think it's this one. I'm not sure if I picked Asia or Hong Kong server. Let me check. Let's check.
Wait. Stop.
Oh, okay.
Don't make me relive it anymore. My poor heart can't take it. You mean the folks from the international office? For the short, I've run into folks from the associate. Don't you think?
Well...
So, I caved. Those people, they had made the smallest of promises, offer the benefits, and I'd do whatever they ask. All right, I'll tell you.
You ready to talk now?
But I betrayed them.
Come on, you scaredy. Oh, come on. Get it off your chest.
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigo. They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants at an extortionate price, with the proceeds going to the tax collection Ashigaru.
It's plain.
I'm their puppet.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
It's a tiny fraction of what we take in total. It's barely enough for me to live with evidence. Now that I think as it happens,
Oh, okay. Well, that's a lot of corruption. Just being mean. Oh, okay. Skirk. Her banner just ended. Wait, did I choose Ether on this account? No. Oh. No, but the trailer was still Ether. Okay. Okay, yay. Wait, what? Do I have any fires? Oh, I only have Tainari. Okay. Sure. Let's see. Do we have anything in the mail? Oh. Should we try to do some polls? Oh. Oh, right, yeah, we just got to Inazuma. Honestly, I have to say Inazuma really isn't the most lore relevant region. It honestly it might be one of the least lore relevant regions because just because of like how little stuff happens there, really.
come out. I can see you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why are you following me?
Seems like you noticed us. After him!
Ah, Ryoko, how's business?
Okay, this works.
Good. Thankfully, I earned plenty these
I'm sorry, this is like,
What was that sound?
this is corruption.
Must be hearing things. Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.
Further and further away! Let's catch up a little. Huh? Where'd it go? It was right there a moment ago. Seems it disappeared in a blink of an eye. We make less noise.
We have to do it again.
It's him.
After him! Too close! It's too close! He'll notice us for sure! We're getting further and further away! Let's catch up a little! Too close! It's too
Jesus
close!
Christ, okay.
For sure!
This is a lot harder than I remember.
Further and further away! Let's catch up a little!
Ah, Ryoko, how's business?
Yeah, this is amazing.
Your generous patronage.
Good. Thankfully, I earn plenty these days.
Of course, tax collection is difficult work.
Now, who else is behind on payments? Let me think. Yes, the Trade Association clique still needs to be brought into line.
I think the last time we had one of these.
What would that sound?
Quiet! Don't let him find us!
Must be hearing things. Drat, I'm behind schedule. I need to hurry.